welcome everyone to the Dasra Philanthropy Week 2015. We are grateful to the BSE for hosting the Dasra CSR Day today for the second year in a row. And I'm sure the symbolism is not lost with all of you. BSE, like Mr. Chauhan said, is 140 years old, and I think it is the oldest stock exchange, or one of the oldest stock exchanges in the world. And it brings capital markets, and the BSE brings to capital markets what Dasra hopes to achieve in our own space, which in philanthropy and in the NGO space. So if you think about it, BSE promotes through its exchange transparency of companies in India, disclosure of full financials of corporates on an even playing field, trading prices minute by minute to the full public, and a prerequisite of proper corporate governance for its members. Collaboration, a marketplace between companies who need capital and the providers of capital. Scalability, BSE has more than 5,000 companies listed and growing. And impact, market cap of 6.9 thousand lakh crores, and as we heard, it's more than $1 trillion market cap from Mr. Chauhan. And the BSE is where a lot of India's private sector capital is raised. So Dasra operates in a similar way around these four principles, but in a very different field. We value transparency. We bring it to the philanthropic space. We have evaluated and analyzed over 450 NGOs in the past year and published our first annual report in the past year. Collaboration, we have created a platform for givers to come together. 200 corporates, 60 foundations, and 105 individual givers. We look forward to the BSE, as Mr. Chauhan said, of bringing this marketplace together under the exchange, and that would be fantastic for us. Scalability, Dasra is actively engaged with 140 social entrepreneurs and social organizations, and our objective typically is to scale them somewhere between 30 to 50 times. So we provide that multiplier. And finally, impact. Dasra has channeled 280 crores till date into the social sector. And in the last year alone, Dasra channeled 80 crores. Of course, Dasra's real impact is measured and felt on the ground, at the ground level, in the ecosystems that we hope to impact. The CSR law has been in force for 1 year. The expectation was that 20,000 crores of capital was estimated to be locked every year. Today, however, based on some surveys we've done, and we've looked at 74 companies and their publicly available data, that suggests that only 12% of companies comply with the 2% norm, and 63% have a CSR spend of less than 1%. So this continues to be a big opportunity. There's huge potential for impact in the social space as these companies get online and provide the 2% of profits into the space. It's a chance for corporate India to show that they care, and it's a chance for corporate India to show us the values that they most care about. To quote Mahatma Gandhi, who, by the way, was a big supporter of business, of big businesses and small businesses, he said, "Be the change that you want to see in the world," and it's important for our corporates to be precisely that. Milton Friedman argued 45 years ago that social responsibility of businesses is to increase profits, and that's it, nothing more. Well, that theory has been largely discredited since then, as possibly as his monetary policy and his monetary theory, for which he won the Nobel Prize for Economics. The thoughts then were based on a simple view that social and economic objectives are separate and distinct, and that a company's social spending comes at the expense of economic results. There's a trade-off. This, I think, is a immensely false dichotomy. it represents an obsolete perspective. In today's open world, companies do not function in isolation from society around them. And understanding this is a crucial imperative for successful businesses. So companies today, especially in India, are in a great position to leverage the efforts and infrastructure of nonprofits and other social organizations, because a lot has happened, especially in the last decade, in the development of this sector. Today, Dasra and our esteemed speakers and panelists will make the case to you and beyond this room. They'll be making the case for corporates for directing a lot of CSR funds into investment in women and adolescent girls. One of the biggest development lessons learned around the world, learned globally, is that this is the best way to provide impact to an economy and to ensure progress. Empowering adolescent girls, which is a subject very, very close to Dasra, and Dasra has spent many years on it, bringing them into the productive economy, will have a huge impact on the Indian economy. By some measures, a GDP impact of $110 billion. So today, as Gayatri said, we have a number of speakers. We have 19 speakers that include CEOs of companies, directors of foundations, and founders of social businesses. We will showcase the Dasra Social Impact Leadership Program, the cohort, a cohort, and this has been done in partnership with Harvard Business Publishing. We'll have 34 inspiring social entrepreneurs here all day, and please do speak to them and interact with them. They have many, many inspiring stories, and I will do so too. We shall be giving out the Dasra Girl Power Awards 2015 to 3 entities. We did that last year, and it was quite an afternoon. And this year, the awards will be in the areas of sanitation, safety and mobility, and employability. We looked at 150 organizations to nail down these 3 very, very strong groups. So as we listen to today's proceedings and reflect on how CSR funds should be deployed, it should be with the understanding that true change in India cannot be fostered without empowering a very, very weak sector, the 113 million adolescent girls to whom we owe a big responsibility. I'd like to thank each one of you for coming here and participating today for the rest of the day, and we do hope that you're as inspired as we are at Dasra. Thank you so much.